Hello, let me introduce myself. Christian Gagnère, Medical and Scientific Director of the LPG Group, as well as Vice President of the International Scientific Research Committee. Now that you've discovered this amazing device, the new Cellu M6 Infinity, I'm going to present the scientific study that goes with it to show you its effectiveness. This study was conducted by the Biscord Institute, which is based in the south of France, by Professor Christophe Hauswirth. The aim of this study and what needed to be proven was, of course, the effectiveness and especially the comparison with the study that was done a few years ago on our previous device, the Alliance, to demonstrate the effectiveness of the latest device. So the three claims we had, which were essential, were slimming, firmness, and skin quality, cellulite. To this end, in this new study, we added nutritional inputs, that is microcirculation. We added heavy legs, studied what we were going to observe in terms of drainage, of course, and then questionnaires, and especially studied satiety. Satiety is studied through a hormone called leptin, and we wanted to demonstrate that endomology with this new device could increase leptin. And finally, a question we've had for several years. It was whether when we stop using the Cellu M6 Infinity or another device from LPG, the results would continue or if maintenance was needed. That's what we call remnants. These are the claims we studied. So, the study design is very simple. It was 28 women, 28 participants. The treatment was twice a week for 6 weeks, so 12 sessions, with each session lasting 40 minutes. So, let's move directly to the results. And first, the results in terms of slimming. So several modules of results. First, we studied body fat using a device called the DEXA. The DEXA is a device that measures body fat and lean mass. It's a device that you only find in hospitals. And so we can see that we already have a great result in terms of fat loss. Because in 12 sessions, we lost about 4.3% of body fat, which is huge. We also measured, to draw a parallel with the Alliance, we also measured the volume in centimeters, the centimeter measurement. And so here we have quite an extraordinary result because in 12 sessions we have a loss of 5.8 centimeters. And in 3 sessions, we already had 2 centimeters. For your information, just to draw a parallel, and we'll see it in the conclusion anyway, compared to the Alliance, the loss was 5.2 centimeters. So already, in terms of volume, meaning the centimeter measurement, we have a result that is already better than the Alliance. At the hips, a loss of 4.4 centimeters, which we hadn't measured with the Alliance. And at the thighs, a loss of 2.4 centimeters. With the Alliance, we had a loss of 1.5 centimeters. So, if we just conclude on the centimeter measurements and volume, we have significantly better results. With this new device, the Cellu M6 Infinity. All these measurements, which are completely objective, were correlated with a psychometric questionnaire, a questionnaire that asked the subjects to give their opinion. What do they think of the treatment? Do they think it worked or didn't work? That's what we call a satisfaction questionnaire. And we see that 85.7% of the subjects responded very favorably after 12 sessions. And half of them already felt that way after 3 sessions. So we can see that already with these centimeter results, we have better outcomes. The second claim was about skin quality, specifically cellulite. Cellulite treatment, it was very simple. We measured it using an ultrasound after the 12 sessions. Cellulite is measured in 4 grades, or more precisely in 3 grades, ranging from 0, which is an absence of cellulite, to 3, which is grade 3 cellulite, meaning very sclerotic cellulite. And we see that after 12 sessions, as shown in this presentation, we gain almost 2 grades, which is quite extraordinary. You can see it in the presentation you're looking at. The dark and red areas are the sclerotic zones. That is the areas of cellulite. And we see that there's an almost complete reduction after 12 sessions. We gain 2 grades. We have it, of course. Just like with the centimeter measurements. We have correlated with a questionnaire, and we see that after 12 sessions, almost 93% of the subjects were extremely satisfied, and almost 60% after 3 sessions. So already, On the two claims of centimeter reduction and skin quality, we have better results with the Cellu M6 Infinity than with the Cellu M6 Alliance. The third claim at the same time is firmness. Firmness at the skin level, of course. And here, we also measured it with an ultrasound, which measures what we call non-echogenic areas. That's what we call the soft areas. So, these soft areas you see in the presentation, they are the black areas. And we see that at the knee level, you can see the before and after, there's an improvement in firmness. So a reduction of these black areas by 5.3%. At the thigh level, 14%. At the stomach level, almost 9%. And at the buttocks level, 14%. So we see that in terms of firmness, we also have very, very satisfactory objective results. Of course, correlated with the famous satisfaction questionnaire, we see that 92.3% of the subjects are very satisfied with the firmness. And almost 50% after 3 sessions, so those were our 3 claims carried over from Alliance. We see that in terms of centimeter measurement, firmness, skin quality and cellulite, we have results that are far superior with the Cellu M6 Infinity than with the Cellu M6 Alliance. So, as I was saying earlier, we often get this question about remanence, meaning, I do a course of LPG, an endomology treatment, 10 sessions, 12 sessions, I stop. And it comes back. So, we wanted to measure that. We wanted to measure this remanence. How does it work? We stopped the treatments after these sessions, as the study protocol required, and we remeasured the results after 1 month. And there, we had absolutely extraordinary results. Because in terms of slimming, cellulite, and skin quality, we have results that are maintained 1 month after stopping the program. So there was no decrease, they are completely equivalent to the last session. So, we know that we have remanence on these 2 items that work. And in terms of firmness, there's a fluctuation effect that makes the results improve even more. It will keep working. In terms of waist size, we have an improvement of 21.3% compared to the last session. We see that it continues. In terms of the buttocks, 26.3%. In terms of the knees, 23.2%. So, these are results that are really important, because when someone asks you, but if I stop the treatment, will it come back? No. We have remanence for at least 1 month. We measured it after 1 month. We could have measured it at 3 months, at 6 months. The study design meant that we measured it after 1 month. It was a choice. So the remanence effect works. So, here we see that our 3 items plus the remanence are far superior to the Alliance. We added additional claims. Blood perfusion, it's the nutritional supply, heavy legs, satiety, and this assessment of well-being. So if we look at the results, nutritional supply, results in 1 session, we don't need to do it over several sessions. It's a real-time result. We have an increase in microcirculation of almost 15%, which means what? It means we have a better supply of oxygen and nutrients. So our cells are better nourished, better oxygenated, and so we have optimized cellular function. And that's an objective result that was done with a blood test. Regarding heavy legs, that's something we've wanted to evaluate for a long time because we always have this effect, what we call the genes effect, after a few sessions, or at least even after the first session. In dermatology, we have the genes effect, meaning the genes fit a bit tight, and then we have a session and we can close them much more easily. And that's due to what? It's often due to water retention and thus the drainage effect. And it was very interesting to measure that. So we did that using an evaluation score, a score, EVA, on an analog scale, and we have a 50% improvement, meaning the sensation of heavy legs decreases by 50% for 100% of the subjects. So a great result for heavy legs. Next, the famous satiety. So we measured what's called leptin. That's a salivary measurement taken from saliva. What is satiety? It's the hormone that gives the impression of cutting hunger. On the other hand, you have ghrelin, which is another hormone that makes you feel hungry. So, leptin was important for us because we've been convinced for a long time that endomology could be an appetite suppressant, but we had never measured it. And here, we see that after 12 sessions, there's an increase in leptin. Moreover, 4.3%. So what does that mean? It means that after 12 sessions of endomology, there's a feeling of satiety, meaning a feeling of being less hungry, which means we're also going to stimulate our energy expenditure. And then, of course, that's the goal of endomology. We're going to boost lipolysis and inhibit lipogenesis, with lipogenesis being the production of fat. So, we see that this leptin measurement is super interesting. Super important. And we have an increase of 4.3%, and that's a result that is completely new. We also correlated it with a score, what we call the eating behavior score, which is a questionnaire. And so we're going to ask the subjects, the 28 subjects, how they feel about that, knowing that we already had an increase in leptin. And here we have a 15.4% improvement in eating behavior. That means the subjects all told us, since then, I've been eating healthier and I snack less. So, in terms of satiety, that's a completely new and super interesting result. Then, we wanted to know if this protocol was pleasant. And we took what we call, on a similarly evaluated scale, an official well-being score, and we have an increase. After 12 sessions, a 21% increase in the feeling of well-being. So, on top of that, it's a treatment that's super pleasant. So, that's good. Those are completely objective results. Scientific results, but what's interesting is also seeing visual results with before and after photos. So, in macrophotography, on the stomach area, the first result, after 12 sessions, we already see very good results, especially in terms of skin quality and firmness. We can see it very clearly in this result on the stomach area. Here, we see it from the side, and we can see there's also a reduction in volume after 12 sessions. These are just a few examples. There are plenty of others. From the back as well, you can clearly see the difference before and after the 12 sessions. These results are very convincing. That's quite an extraordinary result in terms of skin quality. We can clearly see the result after 12 sessions in terms of skin quality and cellulite. We can see that afterwards the skin is much smoother. There are fewer dimples on the thighs and buttocks. Here, we see it's the same subject, but seen from the side, the result is even more convincing. Especially after the 12 sessions. Here as well, from the front, you can see that between the thighs, there's a small gap after the 12 sessions, indicating a loss of volume in the thighs. And moreover, you can see that with this subject, we've lost volume, but we've also gained, or rather improved, skin quality since we've reduced cellulite. So, to conclude all this, we're getting to the final outcome of this study. The conclusions, regarding the slimming effect, if I summarize in terms of circumference, in terms of centimeter measurements, we have an improvement of 2.4 centimeters in the thighs. We only had 1.5 with Alliance. You see in the presentation that the numbers in white are the infinity numbers. The numbers in yellow or gold are the Alliance numbers. We see that at the hips, there's a loss of 4.4 centimeters with the infinity. It wasn't measured with the Alliance, so we can't make a comparison. At the stomach, a loss of 5.8 centimeters. We only had 5.5 centimeters with the Alliance. We have a loss of 4.3 in fat mass, measured with DEXA, which is a device used in hospitals. We only had 1 with the Alliance. And we have an improvement in the figure of 85.7, meaning 85.7% the subjects were satisfied with their improvement. That's the slimming effect. If we consider the anti-cellulite effect, the smoothing effect, it's simply an absolutely extraordinary result. We have an improvement in cellulite, with a satisfaction rate close to 93%. Regarding the densifying effect, meaning firmness, we see that at the stomach, thighs, buttocks, and hips, there's an improvement that is significantly greater than what was seen with the Alliance, with a satisfaction rate for firmness of 92.3%. The additional measurements, we didn't have them alongside the Alliance. 14.7% increase in microcirculation, meaning nutrient supply and cell oxygenation. We saw it in terms of perceived well-being, 21%. Regarding leptin, the hormone of satiety, there's an increase of 4.3%. And then this feeling of heavy legs, an improvement of 50%. Finally, the remanence, we see that in terms of measurements, so the volume and skin quality, the results continue for a month and haven't decreased at all. And we have an effect on firmness that continues to progress during the month when we measured the remanence. With the results you see in the presentation, there you go, thank you.